Language Lab is a response to intervention program designed to reduce the number of special education and speech pathology referrals by providing struggling students with 15 hours of focused, intensive help with their language skills. The goal of the program is to help students so that they no longer need speech-language therapy and can remain in their regular classroom settings. The skills taught in Language Lab help students acquire strong reading skills that are consistent with state educational standards. Hi, I'm Clint Johnson, and today we're going to be talking about Language Lab, a response to intervention program for teaching grammar, vocabulary, and storytelling. This 15-hour response to intervention program is meant to be delivered 2 to 3 times per week in 30-minute sessions. It's for grades K through 4. The best way to learn about the theory behind Language Lab is to look at the Language Lab wheel. If you'll notice, in the center of the wheel, we have nouns, verbs, and connected speech. These are the target skills that we're going to be working on through intensive drill and practice. If you'll notice, on the outside of the wheel here, we have a skill drill station, our listen and learn station, our talk aloud station, our story station, and our homework connection station. And as I was saying, students are going to rotate through all of these stations during the Language Lab session. On the outside of the wheel, we have story tell and story retell. This is how we generalize our skills. So students take those target skills that they've been working on in the other 3 stations, and they come to the story station. They learn to produce better narratives while at the same time targeting grammar and vocabulary skills. If you'll notice down here, I have our train, and this is going to be to teach our narrative skills. The engine of the train is our setting. We also have our problem, and that's the coal car, and then we have our episodes in the middle, and finally our ending, which is our destination. This makes up the acronym SPEED. So now we're going to be talking about the briefcase folder and the backpack folder. Each student is going to receive a briefcase folder and a backpack folder. The cover sheets for these are located in the resource guide. You can either copy them or you can print them from the included CD-ROM. And what I've done here is I've written down Jake Smith, and the teacher is Mr. Johnson, and the days that he's going to be coming, and what grade he's in. And then I'm also going to write this now on the backpack folder, and we're going to see what's on the inside of these folders. So he's going to be coming Monday and Wednesday, and he's in the 3rd grade. And then if you'll notice, in my briefcase folder, I'm going to have an itinerary, and this is going to be the schedule for when they're going to be attending. I'm also going to be having a train ticket that's going to explain their target skill. And then I'm going to have 10 Talk Aloud photo cards. These are the cards that they're going to be using for an entire week to practice their target skill. In this case, Jake is working on irregular past tense verbs. I also have a lesson plan that will tell you exactly how to teach this activity. And you can also do this as a classroom activity as well. So there's some stimuli items down here that you can work with the entire group with. They also are going to get a picture cues, 2 picture cues worksheets, and these are going to be for use in the skill drill station. What happens is the child is just basically is going to get some cues that they can use to describe the photo cards. Students have a backpack folder, and we would write their name on it right here. We would write the days that they're attending, what grade they're in, and then when you open this folder, they will have a letter that gets sent home to the parents and also a homework activity. If they're doing this 2 or 3 times a week, they may have 2 or 3 homework activities in here. They'll also have a sign-in sheet so that the parents can sign and say that the child did do their homework. Language Lab consists of 5 stations. You have a skill drill station, a listen and learn station, a talk aloud station, a story station, and a homework connection station. The first 3 stations are going to target specific grammar and vocabulary skills. The 4th station is going to target narrative skills. And the last station, the homework connection station, that's for reinforcing those target skills that they're learning during Language Lab. Now let's go take a look at the stations. This is the homework connection station. And here, children are going to come when they first come into Language Lab, and they're going to grab a briefcase folder. The briefcase folder will have everything they need for the day to do their work. Just go to the first seat you went to. This is the first station in Language Lab. This is the skill drill station. This is where an individual student can practice his or her target skills. And if you'll notice on the inside, as I said before, we have our lesson plan. This is where you can first teach that target skill. Here we're going to be working on questions. And then I also have my word cue cards. And these are going to tell me the questions that I should be asking about the Talk Aloud photo cards. So if you'll notice on the inside here, I've got my 10 Talk Aloud photo cards, and I'm just going to look at this card, and then I'm going to look and I'm going to ask a what question. What are the girls building? Now I'm going to ask a who question. Who do you think helped them build that birdhouse? Now I'm going to ask a why question. Why are they building a birdhouse? And so forth. So I'm going to continue going through all of these. I have 10 cards, and I have 5 different cues for each card. I'm going to do this activity for 5 minutes. And all of the smaller activities that you do in Language Lab, or the smaller stations like the Talk Aloud station and the Listen and Learn station, all of these are going to be 5 minutes each. This is the Talk Aloud station. This is a paired activity, and so 2 children are going to sit down at the table and they're going to practice their target skills. If you'll remember, in the skill drill station, the children had a cue sheet, and this helped them to produce their target skills. Now they're just going to have the photo cards, they're going to look at their photo cards, and they're going to practice that target skill. We were practicing questioning. So now I have a new card, and I'm going to look at this one, and I'm going to ask some WH questions about it. And so here's the card, and I'm going to say, what video game are the girls playing? And then the other child can answer. And so they'll each keep going through their target skills. One child may be practicing irregular past tense verbs while the other child practices questions. In some cases, one child may be practicing conjunctions and the other child may be practicing time-ordered transitions. It really doesn't matter that they're not practicing the same target skill. They're just going to look at their photo card and run through all 10 of them. Now we're at the Listen and Learn station. All you need for this is just a comfortable place for the child to sit, a CD player, headphones, and our Language Lab Auditory Bombardment CDs. Each of the tracks on the CDs are matched to the skill drill practice pages. When you run off your skill drill practice pages, if you look at the top, it'll tell you exactly what track to play. You put your CD in, put the headphones on, go to the track, and the child listens to that entire track. Now that entire track is going to be about 2 to 3 minutes, so you may need to listen to a couple of tracks to fill up the entire 5 minutes. Alright guys, y'all did really good practicing. Now I want everybody to switch, so let's put all your stuff back in your folders. And we're going to switch and go to our next station. Kaylee, you're going to go to the skill drill station. And Roberto, you're going to come over to the listening station, okay? Oh no, Roberto, I'm sorry. You're going to come and sit right here at the Talk Aloud station. Because Lucas is at the listening station. And now you guys are going to practice the same things you've been doing, okay? Do you want to go ahead and tell him the sentence while he's getting his card straight? Tell me a sentence that describes that picture.
They're tiny girls at a birthday party.
Very good. Now let's hear one of your sentences.
Jen paints.
Very nice. How about, can you give me one more?
Me?
You, now.
Those boys are being quiet so they can, where are they? Everywhere.
Very good.
What are they? Are the boys?
Very nice.
The tiny fish.
This is the fourth station in Language Lab. This is the story station. This is where all the kids come back together after being at each of their separate stations. They sit down and we're going to do a narrative skills lesson. And we're going to do this by teaching the parts of a train, which I went over with earlier with you when we were talking about the Language Lab. But we have our setting card, which is the engine. We have our problem, which is the coal car. We have our episodes, and we have 2 of these cards. And if you have more than 1 episode or more than 2 episodes in a story, you can just repeat these as much as you want. And then you also have the destination card. This is going to make up the acronym SPEED. So for our setting, we're going to talk about who, where, and when the story occurred. We're going to talk about the problem. We're going to talk about an episode, and an episode is going to have an emotion, an action, and a consequence. And then our last one is our destination, and this kind of wraps it all up. This is going to be the ending to the story. So Language Lab has 6 different stories, and each of these stories is scripted out for you to make it easy to teach the parts of the story, and they're all grade appropriate. So I have a set of cards that are for kindergartners, a set that's for 1st through 2nd grade, and also a set through 3rd through 4th grade. Now, what we're going to be talking about today are the 3rd to 4th grade stories. And right here I have 7 cards. And if you'll notice on the back, the story's on the back of it. I have a title card, and then I have the events of the story as they progress. And what you're going to do is relate this back to your speed train. So you're going to read part of the story, ask the children what the setting is. You're going to read another part of the story, ask them who the characters are in the story. You're going to ask them what events happened within the story, and then finally what the conclusion was. So each time I'm reinforcing this lesson by using my speed train. All of these lessons are scripted out for you. It's very easy to read. Everything that you would read is in blue, and then it'll tell you the directions for exactly what you're supposed to do. Okay, everybody, now we're going to put everything back in your folders, and we're going to switch again. Now we're going to come in. Everybody's going to sit at this big table, okay? So bring your folders over here. I'm going to need an extra chair. And you want to come sit right here by me? There we go. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to tell you a story, and we're going to talk about the parts of a story, okay? And so what I have here are cards that describe how we put a story together. Do you guys know about that? Like that stories can be built and they generally have the same parts. So I have the setting, what's the setting going to be?
Where the story takes place.
Yes, where the story takes place. Who, where, and when. That's what we need to know. And then we also have episodes. So these are the cars of our train. And then before that episode, I have a problem. Right? That's what starts a story off. And then I can have a couple of episodes in that story. And then I have my destination. And what do you think the destination is?
The ending.
That's right, it's the ending. So this train is going to make up the letter SPEED. Okay, so I have a setting, a problem, an episode, and the destination.
An episode, and the destination.
That's right. And so now I'm going to start. Oh, I don't have my cards in order. Let me get these in order. No, silly Mr. Clint. Here we go. Okay. So now I'm going to read you a story, okay? Today, Sophia turns 5 years old. She is having a birthday party at her house to celebrate. Sophia's whole family is coming to her party. So where do you think the setting is of this story?
At a birthday party.
Yeah, at a birthday party. And do you think they're going to be outside or inside?
Outside.
Outside?
Inside.
I bet we'll have to find that out. Everyone is happy, and this is Sophia's best birthday party ever. So which train car is this go with, do you think?
Destination.
The destination, that's right. It's our end of our story. Well, you guys did a great job, and we'll continue talking about stories next week, okay? What I want you to do now is everyone take their folder, and you see the homework connection station over there, and you're going to put your folder up there, okay? Your folder. The homework connection station helps to reinforce the target skills that the students are learning at home. Students have a backpack folder, And then when you open this folder, they will have a letter that gets sent home to the parents and also a homework activity. They'll also have a sign-in sheet so that the parents can sign and say that the child did do their homework.
Thanks, okay? Everybody did a great job.
The complete Language Lab kit includes a skill drill workbook with lesson plans and practice pages, a homework connections workbook that's going to include a parent helper letter and also homework exercises for all of the grammatical targets in the Language Lab program, a resource guide with printable CD-ROM for all 3 books, 120 Talk Aloud cards, 40 each for verbs, nouns, and connected speech, 6 Listen and Learn audio CDs, 5 screener cards, 90 Story Station cards, 5 Speed Train cards, 5 Language Lab signs, and a Language Lab poster. And the entire kit comes in a sturdy, easy-to-carry box. I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit more about Language Lab, a response to intervention program for grammar, vocabulary, and storytelling. If you'd like to learn more about it, come to our website at superduperinc.com.